All right, welcome back to Morning Ride. We'll move away from the economy of Delta State to road safety. Now, road crashes can happen for different reasons, but some are preventable. This morning, we are looking at the dangers of impaired driving and what road users need to know. We're joined by DRC Uchenna Nadika, the Sector Public Education Officer, Federal Road Safety Corps, Delta State Command. DRC Uchenna, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you all, and it's good to be here.
Now, let's start with the basics. What do you mean, or what do we mean by impaired driving?
Impaired driving. Anyway, there are so many things that could cause impairment. However, for the program, we are concentrated on that of alcohol and drugs. So that could mean driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs or maybe substances. So it's just simply, in simple terms, operating a vehicle, whether it is an Okada, an articulated vehicle that is trucks, or maybe the normal saloon or buses and all of that, while having taken alcohol or maybe drugs, as the case may be.
Okay. What actually happens to a driver's judgment, reaction time, and coordination after consuming alcohol, even when the person feels that they are still okay to drive?
Of course, you see, let me even start by saying this alcohol and drugs, this has caused tremendous effects on roads negatively. We've seen people, when you are under the influence of alcohol, just like you mentioned, and reaction time and all of that, those are the effects, and because of that, because of the alcohol that you've taken, because of the drugs that you've taken, you begin to feel overconfident of yourself. And that overconfidence leads you to most times misbehave. A lot of people feel, okay, because they've taken alcohol before and they've driven and nothing happened, therefore they have superpowers. You understand? So they feel that nothing can happen. They're already used to it. So people go as far as taking as much as beyond even what is required, and then you see them hit the steering. So like you said, it reduces the reaction time. Do you understand? Because as a driver, you expected when you are sober, that is when you are not under the influence of alcohol, you are sober, you can actually see dangers. And when you see these dangers, you identify them. And when you identify them, you react easily to them. But where you are under the influence of alcohol, you find out that you hardly see this danger because, one, your vision is also affected. You understand? Your vision is also affected. And you see that sometimes your body is reacting to the alcohol that you've taken. Then it's going to make you feel tired. It's going to make you feel fatigue. And in these cases, it also affects your reaction time. So your ability to see danger is reduced, and your ability to also react to that danger is also reduced significantly. So these are some of the issues about that emanate from the influence of alcohol and drugs. And mind you, when we talk about these drugs too, we are not just referring to cannabis, marijuana, and as the case may be. There are some medicines, there are some conventional or over-the-counter drugs that you can also take that could also affect your driving. It could make you dizzy, it could make you feel tired, it could make you feel sleepy at the point. So it's good that as a driver, you always check, because most times it is written on the prescription of the drug, that's on the details of the, I think the packet or whatever, that this drug has the capacity to make you feel dizzy and all of that. So when you take such medicine, and you too should also know your body system.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you an instance, because there was a guy, I think I've mentioned it here before, he traveled from Onitsha, so he was going to Benin, quite a short travel. And he took his BP and I think sugar medication. While before he could even enter the vehicle, he was already feeling dizzy. He was complaining that he was looking, are you sure he could continue with this journey? His passengers told him, "Oga, if you know say you know fit drive, better step down." No. He said, no. Say if he manage them. The management, that was what he was managing. When he got to Seboko, he slept off, he dozed off on steering, and that was how he had a crash. He was the only one that died.
Okay.
In the vehicle. Other passengers came out, some sustained injuries and all of that. So these are the issues, So sometimes this causes dizziness, and it might not necessarily be marijuana or cannabis. There are some other drugs or medicines that you can also take that could also impair your vision and your capacity to coordinate properly on the road.
Okay, so what are some of the warning signs that a driver may not be fit to drive? What are some of the warning signs we should watch out for as a driver and as passengers looking at the driver? What are some of the signs?
As a driver, of course, you should be able to get in tune with your body system. You should know when your body is telling you that you are tired, when your body is telling you that you are feeling sleepy. You should know. And oftentimes, you might not even tell you these things before you start driving. It might tell you while you are driving. And it's important because I'm also going to give an instance. There was this case. I'm going to give you 2 instances so that you'll be able to know the passenger's role and that of the driver. So there was this case. The driver was driving from, I think, Onitsha to Lagos. And he was feeling sleepy and all of that. I think maybe he didn't have enough rest. Or maybe he also took medications. He only knows. But however, he complained to his passenger saw him. He was feeling sleepy, and they asked me what. He said that he has not rested enough. You understand? So what the passengers did at our checkpoint at toll gate, they alerted the officials there, and what they did, they packed it, they impounded the vehicle. They took the vehicle to the office. They had to plead with the passengers. They took the vehicle to the office and gave the driver a room to sleep. The driver slept for like 3 hours. And by the time he woke
passengers waited.
Of course.
Okay.
The driver slept for like 3 hours, and by the time he woke up, he was rejuvenated. Do you understand? And then they had to continue. In fact, when they got to Lagos, they had to call the unit commander there to thank him very much for what they did for him. Exactly. And then we've also had a situation where the driver was intoxicated. He was under the influence of alcohol, and of course, the passengers did not notice on time. So by the time they were already en route their journey, the driver started misbehaving on the steering. Driving abruptly was making so much, was making them feel very uncomfortable. At some point they insisted the driver must stop and they will not continue the movement. Because the driver had the possibilities of crashing. So they stopped the vehicle. They made a video. They contacted the park from where they loaded, and they also made a video. And the video also went viral. They insisted that the driver was not going to drive them. So the fleet operator sent another vehicle to take them to their destination. And when we even saw the video, we worked on it. We ensured
FRSC worked on it. Okay.
We ensured that the driver was penalized. Okay. I think the driver was sacked by the company, and then the company too, they were penalized because ordinarily you should not allow your driver. You should always monitor. That's why we have fleet managers. So those managers, their responsibility is to ensure that their drivers are always okay. They must not be drunk. They must not be under the influence of alcohol, and they should be tested before they leave the park.
All right. During festive periods and weekends, we often see an increase in alcohol sales and consumption. Right. What trends has the DRC observed regarding drunk or impaired driving in Delta State?
In Delta State, of course, it's when we talk about the trends, especially during the festive period, of course, it increases. It increases. Generally, it increases. The reason is, of course, because of the festivities. Everybody are carried away, and then the euphoria of the festivities intoxicates too. You find people driving under the influence of alcohol, especially amongst the youth. In increasing measure, especially amongst the youth. However, that's why we always call on everybody to be responsible. And I'm going to give an instance. Long before I even joined road safety, of course, we go to parties and all of that. And my friends knew me in my clique. You will find out that I'm the only one who does not take. The reason I just took it as my responsibility.
Okay.
Since everybody is jollificating, since everybody is, I'll just be, don't worry, enjoy.
Watch one. Okay.
Exactly. So once it has to do with driving, if you insist, I will say no. I will not let you drive. So everybody knew me that. In fact, when we want to go out, they must look for me because they know that I'm their saving grace.
Okay.
So I think what we are preaching is for everybody to take responsibility, because this road safety, like I said, is everybody's job. It's not just for FRSC. So we call on people to take up responsibilities, even as friends, because a lot of times too, you also find peer pressure coming in. People take alcohol, people take all sorts of substances, and they also want to prove themselves that after I've taken all of these things, I can still handle the wheels. So you could be successful day one, you could be successful day two, and then it gives you that euphoria that Omo Abijagabano. You understand? Nothing can happen, and then you find yourself doing it consistently. But one day, when people go market, agree, come back again. You understand? So it's important that we always take responsibility for ourselves and for people around us too.
Okay, because of time, what is the FRSC doing to educate people on the dangers of driving when you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, especially here in Delta State? You see young people under the influence of alcohol driving recklessly. So what is FRSC doing?
There are a lot of things that we are doing, and we've always been doing. These are our public enlightenment engagements. Of course, we go on televisions. You are aware. We come here almost on a weekly basis. We go on parks. In fact, we take out every opportunity for engagement with, even if it's a meeting, we go there. So long as we see people, we reach out to them. We have community engagement. We meet traditional rulers. As the case may be, they give us their platforms. We speak to people. We go to churches. We go to mosques on a daily basis. We go to all of these places. We go to parks. We visit them. And then we also have our enforcement. Mind you, we also have breathalyzers that we use to test for alcohol concentration on people. So when we suspect that your driving is a bit rough, and this could also be under influence of alcohol, we bring out our breathalyzers, we check. We have partnerships with NDLEA, or sometimes we've recommended, we've referred people to them to help us check, is this person under the influence of drugs? In fact, sometimes there was this day I was going back to my office, unprovoked, one guy just ran through the vehicle and hit the side mirror.
An FRSC vehicle?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Hit the side mirror, unprovoked.
Yeah.
So my driver was so confused. I was like, just keep on moving. So on getting to another junction, the guy hits a vehicle.
Another vehicle?
Yes. And that was where he got trapped because he could no longer move. So people had already gathered around him and all of that. So we had to take the person to the office, and at that point we also referred him to it. It happened that the person was under the influence of
drugs.
Yes, of substances. So these are the cases that we've seen, and we always ensure that we do our best.
Okay, so finally,
finally, if you could have one message for motorists, motorists applying the road that are planning to drink today, or possibly somebody taking something at this point, what's your message to that motorist, that driver, or those customers that watch a driver drink before entering the vehicle? What's your message?
So the message is this: we do not say you should not drink, but if you must drink, don't drive. And if you must drive, don't drink. And mind you, as a passenger, as a road user, you also have your responsibility. So when you see some of these things, you speak out. And then you can always call our toll-free line 122. This 122 is toll-free. There are no charges. You can just call and report. All you need to do, report, get the number plate of the vehicle, and if possible, the name of the driver. But in case the driver refuses to tell you his name, get the number plate of the vehicle and the name of the park. Just report the issue, and we'll take it up from there.
All right. DRC Uchenna Nnadika, Sector Public Education Officer, Federal Road Safety Corps, Delta State Command. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
The message is clear: getting home safely is better than getting to a particular place quickly. So do not drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs at all. And that's the much we can take. Morning Ride today. Tony, the last words as we wrap up.
My last words remain the same. You have to see there to get there, right? If you are moving, make sure you get your mind focused on where you're heading to. My name is Tony Locker. Good morning.
That brings us to the end of Monday's edition of Morning Ride. On behalf of the production crew, this is Blessing Usiagbada saying thank you once again. Have a productive day and bye for now.